Let me tell you something, these tech companies will do the craziest things to get you to come back full-time. Beyond giving you the benefits of a full-time employee, like a free membership to a world-class luxurious health club spanning 4 city blocks, they'll host so many events, from cruises by the home of Bill Gates to a 24-hour road trip scavenger hunt, to give you the best experience you can get in a few months' time. And I got to capture all that to share with you all. So if you've ever wondered what the Microsoft in-person internship was like outside work, hopefully this answers that question. Let's start off with the warm welcome. They booked my flight for me and I was off in a rental car, which I paid a few $100s a month for, to my paid-for Airbnb. There were so many events interns were invited to, both company-wide and intern only. As for the quote-unquote professional events, we got to go to their annual Ability Summit, which brought people together to talk about the future of disability inclusion and accessibility. We toured their prototyping lab for new technologies called the Envisioning Center. We also attended lots of talks, like a women's intern symposium, other spotlight sessions with professors, authors like Nike's Phil Knight, where I got to meet and get a copy of Shoe Dog signed, and of course, a talk with Melinda Gates and Satya Nadella. And as always, one of the biggest perks of these events, and of tech companies in general, you're very well fed. There were even World Cup cupcakes and cookies at one of the events. Now let's talk the quote-unquote fun events. Many of these were the events held by the recruiting team specifically for interns to help you learn more and fall in love with the area. In this case, that was Seattle. I got to attend my first Mariners game, go bowling, watch movies, march alongside my coworkers in the Pride Parade, matching shirts and all, and one of my favorite things I've ever done, volunteer at the Special Olympics at Husky Stadium. This really didn't feel like volunteering at all. We got to dance along to Marshmallow, sit in the crowd to watch the opening ceremony, see the lighting of the torch, and then watch Charlie Puth perform. They also took us on a couple cruises around Lake Washington, one which took us by the home of Bill Gates, at least according to our tour guide, and another which let me steer the boat. We also got to do volunteering events with other interns, and current full-time employees put on a 24-hour scavenger hunt, sending us all over Washington in a minivan. And of course, the event that most articles and interns talk about, we were invited to their annual summer concert for interns. This year it was a picnic theme at Gasworks with magic shows, arcade games, so much incredible food, kite flying, and the night ended with performances from Julia Michaels and Mr. 305 himself, Pitbull. What a blast from the past that was. I believe in the United States of America. We also had a handful of team events like bowling happy hour with my immediate team, an annual org-wide picnic with everyone under RCVP, where everyone was invited to bring their friends and family for a day of fun at Vasa Park, complete with jet skis, so many food trucks, and can't forget the little team outings like pizza and indoor skydiving. So that's a little glimpse at everything that Microsoft planned and paid for, but here's a look at what else you can do while interning in Seattle. Eat lots of good food, that's for sure. One of the best places I've ever discovered sits right in the heart of downtown Seattle. It's called Serious Pie. You have to try their mushroom pizza, trust me. We also went to a Maroon 5 concert, did lots of shopping, and watched the 4th of July fireworks go off at Gasworks. One of my favorite memories was also road tripping. Seattle is the perfect distance to Vancouver and Portland, so we had to squeeze in a couple trips. We popped into Vancouver for a weekend and of course had to get some poutine and drop by Tim Hortons. We ate at popular spots like Cafe Medina for their lattes and waffles and the Flying Pig, and then went on a classic touristy bike ride around Stanley Park, which honestly is an absolute must-do for tourists. It is just absolutely beautiful. The trip was so great, in fact, that we had to come back again that same summer. We went to Cafe Medina again, trying out a skillet, and went to Vidge's, made by legendary Vancouver chef Vikram Vidge, who we actually got to chat with during our meal. While we were there the second time, the Richmond Night Market was also going on, an Asian-themed outdoor food festival, so we popped in there for a couple goodies we don't usually see offered elsewhere, like Korean barbecue tacos, Korean fried chicken, and some strawberry mochi. We also went on a weekend trip to America's capital of weird, Portland, and we're not disappointed. We popped into Waffle Window for a delicious banana Nutella waffle, and my first time really having a savory waffle, a spicy cheddar jalapeno waffle, which both were so incredibly delicious. And then started going to all the touristy attractions like McManaman's Kennedy School, a historic elementary school turned Portland's most unique hotel. Some guest rooms are our old classrooms, and there was also an eclectic bar. Found it! If you're wondering how I find these places, go to Yelp and sort by most reviewed. That's how I at least find all the popular spots. Anyways, we had to stop by Powells, where we spent a solid hour just in wonder at all the books there. Screen Doors Chicken and Waffles was also on our must-try list, and definitely the best thing to try hot and fresh. I've been there when we had to do takeout, and it was not the same. We then head over to East Portland, where we had some yummy rich ramen at Fury, which had the coziest atmosphere, complete with tiramisu for dessert, and of course, a trip to Portland is not a trip to Portland unless you stop by Voodoo Donuts, where we got a ridiculous amount of donuts for 2 people. But rest assured, I finished them before our trip was over. They make the perfect road trip snack. I'm sure you could tell this was my first time, given how many donuts I bought. To be honest, we were mainly there for the food, so we went to D Street Village to check out Pok Pok, known for their wings. This is also when we discovered that it even rains in Portland during the summer, and 50 Licks, the cutest little ice cream shop, for some dessert. Anyways, that's what a summer internship at Microsoft looks like outside of work. Some context, I was interning as a software engineering intern on Microsoft's version of Alexa, Cortana. What I love about Microsoft was that they really made sure we had work-life balance, so I was able to go off and do all these fun things on the weekends without stressing about work. Being there in person means you're also with a bunch of other people who will be in the same mindset of being somewhere new for the first time and wanting to see all that there is to offer, because being there full-time is what you're considering at the end of the day. Anyways, this was back in the summer of 2018, and I recently found all this footage, so I figured, why not edit it all together and show what in-person internships were like, especially as we start going back to them. So I hope that's what I got to do, give you some insight into what in-person internships were like, and maybe some ideas on what to do or where to travel to. Oh, and in case we haven't met yet, I'm Evelyn, a product manager based in San Francisco, making weekly videos here on my channel about career, life, food, really just anything going on in my life that I want to share with you all, my friends. So if you're curious about product, SF living, or just want to follow along with my journeys, please subscribe. Oh, and if you like this video, I'd appreciate a big thumbs up. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.